Today is a significant day for BC. We all love to enjoy the parks and get outdoors, and some provincial parks will be reopening ahead of the long weekend. With more details on this, BC's Environment Minister George Heyman joins us now. Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning, Mary.
So what can park users expect this weekend? Will the provincial park experience look any different?
Well, people can expect, of course, that no camping is allowed yet. That's not till June, but we're opening over 800 parks across BC. We're welcoming British Columbians back, but asking people to go to a park that's closest to their community. The provincial health officer is still asking people not to travel unnecessarily, but we know people want to get outside. We know people need fresh air. So we're asking people to get to the park, follow the new signage that will be there about instructions about how to use the facilities and ensuring they familiarize themselves with the sanitation or hand wash stations, and that people stay on the well-marked trails. And if you see somebody else, give them the 2 meters distance that we're all trying to give each other in these times.
Good advice for sure. And we're looking at video of Golden Ears Park, which opened this morning. I thought it was closed this weekend, so that's very exciting. We do know that some parks in the Lower Mainland are still closed for this weekend. Can you just list some of them and why the government has decided to keep those parks closed?
Well, we have parks like Golden Ears, Alice Lake, and Cultus Lake are open, but parks like Cypress and Joffrey are remaining closed. And we used a set of criteria that included, were they likely to be very, very crowded and overwhelmed? Did we have experience back in April that the people weren't able to distance properly, or the parking lots were crowded, or we had, in some cases, real expressions of concern from communities, Indigenous nations, and the police. So we have over 800 open, but some of the ones where we didn't feel we were ready with the sanitation procedures, or we hadn't been able to clear hazards in the parks because not all staff have been able to work because of some of the health reasons. But most importantly, we want to be sure that we don't have to take a step backwards. So we're opening those places where we think we can assure that people can physically distance and be safe, that we can handle sanitation. And if we're not quite ready in some places like Joffrey and Cypress, we're not opening yet. But go to the bcparks.ca website, and all of the information will be there about what parks are open and when other ones can be expected to be open.
Do you have any indication of when those parks might reopen?
Well, we're going to open a few more parks in June 1st, as well as open some parks for camping. And we're going to have a phase 3 where the areas that are the hardest to ensure safety, perhaps because they're distant or because they're set up in a way where people are simply going to be too close. We have a phase 3 that'll be sometime later in the summer. But we want to open as much as possible, as safely as possible, as soon as possible. British Columbians love our parks and really want to get out and experience nature and get some fresh air. We're all a little stir-crazy, myself included.
Yes, we are. I am as well. So real quick, Minister Heyman, if people don't respect the rules at these parks, is there a chance that they could close?
There's always a chance, but I've observed British Columbians in my own community around the province. The vast majority of people understand that we're going to get through this together. If I go for a walk in the neighborhood, people give me that 2 meters distance. I give it to them. We are expecting this to go smoothly, but we will have conservation officers and parks officers monitoring. If we have to tell people their behavior is endangering themselves or others, we will. If we, in a worst case scenario, if somebody isn't breaking the rules, we could ask them to leave or fine them, but we want people to be able to get outside. I'm not looking forward to parks closures. If we had to, we would. Let's be positive. Let's work together. Let's get through this together.
Great advice as always. Thank you so much, Minister Heyman, for your time this morning. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.